I mean, it depends on, like, to get healed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to actually, like, identify something that, to reach the point that He heal us, which is the mercy and the rahmah. But to reach this point, we should have the hikmah that what we should do, what we actually present, also the sacrifice that we do, so we get that heal. Like, I mean, that's the whole main point. I mean, we have to sacrifice somehow. Like,
well,
I mean, that's how.
You're saying that we have to sacrifice to be healed. Allah is generous. Allah is the healer. He decides how we heal, whether, when we do, how, when. It's Allah's business. You know, we ask Him. I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking. Allah, heal me. And it's up to Him whether He does or not. It's not by our actions. Not by our actions. It's not because we do something right or sacrifice or don't do this or don't. No, it's by Allah's mercy alone.
What I'm saying is, like, there is a story, like, there is a great actually hadith that there is, like, one of the big ulama, like, I think it was Malki or Shafi'i, Malki or Abi Hanbal. He was very fast in memorizing 2 pages at once. Mm-hmm. And then he went to the market and he looked at, like, a lady, he looked at just at her shoes. And then what happened that he went to his teacher and he told him, I can't memorize anything at all. So he's like, what, like, I mean, you did something wrong. So he recalled that he went to the market and he looked at this. So this was the same. So when he went back to his teacher, he told him, yes, I did this. He said, yes, make tawbah, 2 rak'ah, like, and do repentance about what he did. And then he started to recall that, and then he did that. He did the repentance to God, you know?
Yes.
And then after that, he started to memorize things again.
Yes. Okay, did you all hear that a man, one of the scholars performed the wrong action and Allah gave him a debility, so his teacher said, and so he determined. But we do not get healing from Allah because of our actions. It's only by the grace of Allah that it's His business whether we do or not. So we ask Him. He is the one who heals. That doesn't mean we're not obliged to do the best we can in terms of correcting our actions and having good action. But we don't believe that. We don't believe that our healing or the benefit we get of Allah is dependent totally on our actions. It's totally on it because the Prophet ﷺ said too that, you know, if we were dependent on Jannah from our actions, none of us would be there. It's by the rahmah of Allah. And there's the man that he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said he was in Jannah not because of anything he did, because he did this and this, but he was there only because he believed in the rahmah of Allah. His rahmah is greater and it precedes His wrath. And it's the thing that precedes all.
I'm just going to say, Allah's kun fayakun, be, and it is. And I think that we have to always remember that Allah says He created men and jinn to worship Him. So all of this, the intention, moving in the direction of what you want, moving to live a healthy lifestyle, to love people, to help, to practice Quran, to follow the Sunnah, is all a part of this medicine, is all a part of worshiping Allah. So, in Quran Allah says, you soul, well-pleasing and well-pleased. But what does that mean? Well-pleasing, that we've done the work that we're supposed to be here to do, and so that Allah is pleased with us, and we're pleased with Him, and being pleased with Him. What does that mean? That we accept, we submit, we use what He's giving us, be it whatever knowledge we have, whatever sincerity we have, all of those things, because that's, we're here to work. We're here to work for Allah. He doesn't need anything from us, but we need from Him. But I think that, one of my doctors and one of my teachers used to say, don't think too deeply. And for the longest time, I couldn't understand what that meant, because I said, well, that's what we're supposed to do, think. But there's a balance. We were talking about the scholars earlier. You can get so deep in the thought that you forget the rahmah, you forget to see, what Allah is telling you. You forget to hear because you get lost in your own self. And that's you know, why we try to keep the balance. That's why we walk this path. That's why we do these things, inshallah. You know, Allah knows the best.
And that's part of being insan. Like the word insan in Arabic, it came from someone who forgot. Like this word meaning insan who forgot. So we always try to remember who we are, where we're going, and what's going to happen. Because what happened, like the whole meeting or the whole gathering, that we know that this like sign of natural health in Islamic tradition, like the first thing that like Dr. Hakim said, that the existence of the Prophet, peace be upon him, was the healing. So now we don't have the Prophet. So what happened is that we, like as Muslims or non-Muslims, we migrated from knowing God. I'm not talking about us, but in general. So that's why there is a lot of disease, whether it is psychologically, chronically, or whatever. Like the companion of the Prophet, they used to be with him every second. They used to know what he's saying. They used to actually digest and ask him. They don't just listen. They ask and they argue and they listen and they do discussion with him. So and then they went to the point that they believed in heaven and hell. So actually they saw heaven and they saw hell, because he was telling them about hell and heaven. So what happened, that they went to the point that they got elevated spiritually. And that elevation caused them actually all the progress that they did. So this is the point that we are missing. We are missing the true belief in La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So if we do have that, we have the key to paradise and the key to actually, success.
Inshallah.
That's all.
Inshallah. So we need to wrap this up, and we need to get into this last section, which, what the brother asked me to do was to sort of come to this point. How do we implement what we've been talking about here?